So in the last video, gimlisam asked an interesting question. I refer to normal people, or what's normal, and exclude myself from that definition. So we're going to talk about normal. What does normal mean? What is this concept of normal? It has to do with, at least when I use it, what's average, what's expected, what the larger percentage of the population is. So, normal to me means cisgendered, someone who was born the gender they are, someone who's straight. In a lot of parts of the country, someone who's white, someone who's more conservative, someone who's afraid of change. All these things that make up this group that's sort of normal, that none of us really are, but there you go, right? Normalcy. So I'm going to borrow a little bit from a friend of mine's theory about the idea that normal is a restrictive group. It is when you have this concept of normalcy, of rightness in a society, everything outside of that society is excluded. It is considered less than right. It's something else. It's other. And it becomes almost frightening. It becomes something you're not supposed to be. And I never wanted to be normal. Normal is this concept of something that to me means my parents are pressing me down into this mold. My society is pressing me down into this mold of something that follows the rules, that does what it's supposed to do. And when you call yourself normal, that's what you're calling yourself. And so, from that perspective, even if I wasn't trans, I wasn't queer, I wasn't born into an obscure, unheard of religion, I wasn't any number of other things that make me other, I still wouldn't want to call myself normal. But at the same time, the concept of normal that I use has to do with this sort of self-deprecating language that's actually negative to a group, because we are saying that we're not supposed to be here. We're not supposed to belong. We don't belong by me saying I'm not normal. And I don't want to continue with that oppression. At the same time, I don't want to consider myself part of that group that is undeniably there, that society has undeniably said is there, this group of normal. So, I don't know if that actually answers the question or just raises a whole lot more. But this whole idea of normalcy is just something I want to get away from, because it's what creates this oppressive society, this thing that has one way. It's like that stereotype of the 50s, with the 50s wife and the 50s husband, and you fit into one of these happy little categories, and that's all there is. And it's safe, but it isn't real. Which you get, what was that movie? Totally making fun of that. Something Wives. I'll probably look it up and put it in the notes. Anyway, and they turn out to all be robots. It's like, none of it's real. So, and I'm getting into that in a really interesting way, because I don't really call myself genderqueer anymore, and I don't know how much I've ever called myself genderqueer outside of these videos. I'm a man. I want to be a man. But I wanted Prince Mercury to be genderqueer because he's supposed to be breaking this oppressive idea of normalcy, of man, woman, happy little family. But me personally, I don't know if it's because I want to belong or simply because, well, simply because I want to be a man. I am a man. That's how I see myself. But Prince Mercury is still supposed to be genderqueer, ridiculous, and sometimes wearing a tiara. So that's what normal means to me, and maybe I should stop using the word since it's to some degree oppressive to both those people in the category and those people outside of the category.